Hi there, I'm Rose Jacobs with you for Kalkine TV, and in this video we'll take a look at what bankruptcy is. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to stay across the latest videos from Kalkine. So, what is bankruptcy? And more importantly, how can you avoid it? Bankruptcy is a legal process that concerns a firm or an individual who has been unable to pay their debts. The bankruptcy process usually starts with a petition submitted by the debtor, but it can also start with a petition filed on behalf of creditors. Then the debtor's assets are analysed and measured, and the assets may be used to repay the debt. Bankruptcy enables a corporation or an individual to start over by forgiving debts that can't be paid while permitting creditors to get some payback based on the assets available in the liquidation. The ability to file for bankruptcy helps the economy by permitting firms and individuals a second chance to acquire credit and give creditors a debt repayment share. Plus, the debtor will be released of their debt obligations incurred before filing for bankruptcy if the bankruptcy case is completed. But there are different types of bankruptcy laws in different countries. In the United States, for example, bankruptcy filings are governed by many chapters of the Bankruptcy Code. Chapter 7, for example, corporations or individuals typically file Chapter 7 bankruptcy with limited or no assets. They can sell their unsecured debts, like medical bills and credit card amounts, through it. Those possessing non-exempt assets must sell them off to pay off some or all of their unsecured debts. In Chapter 11, firms commonly file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy because it enables them to reduce costs, increase profitability, and discover new ways to boost revenue. Chapter 13 enables people and firms with a steady revenue to create sustainable debt repayment programs. The repayment options are usually in instalments over a 3 to 5 year term. Now, Chapter 9 is offered to municipalities in financial difficulties, such as towns, school districts, cities, and counties and villages. Municipalities are not required to sell assets to pay off their obligations under Chapter 9, but are instead permitted to develop a plan to repay them over a period. Chapter 12's purpose is to assist family farms and fisheries by permitting them to continue operating while working out a strategy to pay off their obligations. And Chapter 15 handles cross-border matters involving creditors, debtors, assets, and other parties based in multiple countries. Typically, this kind of petition is filed in the debtor's home country. So that's the US. In Australia, it's a little more clear-cut. The Federal Bankruptcy Act of 1966 governs bankruptcy in Australia. Therefore, a creditor could apply to the Federal Circuit Court for an order if an individual goes bankrupt. And in the United Kingdom, the matter solely affects partnerships and sole proprietorships in such as administration and liquidation. And what if you're in India? Then the Indian legal system, the concepts of bankruptcy, liquidation, insolvency, and dissolution are contested. There was no law in place previously, but the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016, which India's Parliament enacted in May of that year, is now in effect. The Bankruptcy and Insolvency Act of Canada governs bankruptcy throughout Canada. The Superintendent of Bankruptcy oversees supervising the fair and orderly administration of bankruptcies across the nation. And the part you've been waiting for? What are the advantages of filing for bankruptcy? Well, it can assist in avoiding unending legal threats, demanding letters and phone calls from creditors to your firm, your family, or your home. Now, as cars and houses are usually shielded, it helps to maintain a certain baseline. And rather than being put on hold, debt burdens are being addressed. But don't forget, there are drawbacks of filing for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is not an easy one-step procedure, and it comes with its own set of disadvantages. It requires a great deal of effort and commitment, and no doubt something no business owner would ever set out to intentionally achieve. If you enjoyed the information contained in this video, then make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay across the latest videos. For more info, head across to kalkinemedia.com. I'm Rose Jacobs for Kalkine.